Hey, ghouls and gals, I'm Lunar, one of your scream queens in SQS, and today we are talking about one of my favorite horror story games, Don't Be Afraid. And I know you're probably thinking, okay, Lunar, what's so special about it? And I'm going to tell you, but I need you to just stick with me because this game genuinely broke something in me just a little bit. I don't want to. I don't want to.
If
What are you going to
you
do?
don't, you'll see your mummy's head next to your friend.
Bitch. And by the end of this video, I think you're going to understand why. Also, yes, there are mannequins. Ah! That's just our thing now at SQS.
Such a good boy.
Oh my god. What the fuck? Use you. God damn it, I hate mannequins.
Rar. Every single game we play, mannequins show up. At this point, I'm convinced they're following us. But before we get too far into it, we just want to put up a trigger warning for this game. It contains child abduction and murder, as it is the entire premise of this game, and it's not sugarcoated in any way. Child deaths are also shown explicitly on screen. Again, it's the main story of the game. There is also heavy gore and body horror, including children's bodies, that are throughout the game. Also, for my fellow horror lovers that are afraid of clowns, there is a clown in the game. I think that about covers it, so let's just go ahead and jump in. Don't Be Afraid is an indie psychological horror game that came out in December of 2020 and was developed by Broken Arrow Games. You play as David, an 11-year-old boy who wakes up in a cold, dark room with no idea how he got there. And then a masked man named Franklin appears and tells him that he wants to play a little game. Okay, Jigsaw. Here's the thing that hooked me immediately. You play as a child, not a soldier, not a detective, not some horror protagonist with a mysterious past and a flashlight and a fighting chance. You are an 11-year-old and you are scared of the dark. The candle you carry isn't just a mechanic, it's a lifeline. It's a kid refusing to let the darkness win, and the house knows that. The entire environment is designed around taking that one small comfort away from you. Pipes leaking overhead, mannequins positioned in your path that blow out your candle. Franklin built this place to break children, and it shows in every single room you walk through. And Franklin himself is not a silent monster lurking in the shadows. He is talking to David the entire game. Over speakers installed throughout his house, he watches David on CCTV and narrates. He taunts him.
David, is that you? Honey, where are you? We've been looking for you everywhere. Are you alright? Please, come home soon.
He calls it a game.
David, my boy, to win the game I prepared for you, you have to follow the numbers.
He sounds just delighted.
Perfect. You're getting closer and closer.
The voice acting for this character is just one of the best things about this game, and it is one of the most disturbing things in equal measure.
Ah, that goddamn clown turned off the cameras. I can't see you, sweetheart.
Because there's like this warmth to it that makes your skin crawl. He's not screaming at David. Well, I mean, he does, but he's just playing with him, and that makes it so much worse.
Oh, why are you leaving so soon? I mean, you can go, but I already miss you so much.
Let's talk about Franklin, because once you start pulling on this thread, it just does not stop unraveling. Franklin is a serial killer who kidnaps children and forces them to navigate his house of puzzles and horrors. But here's the detail that gets under my skin. Franklin is a biology teacher at a school, and the janitor at that same school, Theodore the clown, two of the people hunting David, work at a school full of actual children every single day, and nobody knows. David is not the first victim, not even close.
David, let's take a little break, shall we? I have to confess something. You're not the first child playing at my playground. That's why I want you to know how much fun I had with the other children.
And the way that Franklin talks about his victims tells you everything about how this man's brain works. He describes himself as someone who doesn't connect well socially, who isn't very good with people. But the mannequins, he says they cannot speak, but if they're arranged well, they tell interesting stories. That's how Franklin sees the people he's killed. Arrangements. Stories he gets to tell. And those mannequins are not decoration. The lore is very explicit that they are real bodies inside of them. If you get too close to one, it whispers to you. Not only that, they shift positions when you're not looking directly at them. In the first part of the game, there is a point where you have to pull a ball away from one, and it cries just like a child would. There are even occult notes scattered throughout the house about preserving flesh and mixing brain matter with cement and shaping it into spheres. Franklin isn't just killing these kids, he's building something with them. He also knows that he's doing this just hidden in plain sight. There's a note where he basically laughs about how many people have walked through his house and never once realized there's human flesh in the mannequins right next to them. He calls them idiots. He is so proud of this. Not only that, he has his own little family of helpers that he's been creating. Franklin has a brother named Carl. Carl is the giant who stalks the basement. He's enormous, he's masked, and he's brutal.
Oh, Sarah, please don't cry. You have to forgive Uncle Carl. He's just too strong. He just wanted to stroke your little head.
But there's a letter from Franklin to Carl in the house, and I need you to hear what it actually says. Franklin writes that Carl was special to him, that everything he did was to protect Carl from justice, from punishment, from what he calls the hand of justice, my hand. He talks about building Carl a beautiful room in the basement, giving him a TV, coming to read to him every single night, feeding him. He tells Carl that he should be able to feel his love, and he signs off with, "See you on the other side, brother." Carl isn't just muscle, Carl is Franklin's brother, and Franklin has been keeping him in that basement like a pet and calling it love. Then there's Lydia, Franklin's daughter. Lydia has her own diary in the game, and it is one of the most devastating things I've ever read in a horror game. It starts pretty normal, sad but normal, birthday parties that her dad stopped caring about, and then her mom disappears. And Franklin tells Lydia, don't ask too many questions, and he forbids her from going to the second floor. Then he tells her something is wrong with her face, and that he'll have to help her with it. The last entry is just him telling her that the day of the operation has come. That operation is what gave Lydia that mouth, all those teeth, and took away her sight. Now she haunts her own floor singing and hunting by sound. If you listen closely while she's singing, she whispers and asks for help.
Don't be afraid. Come with me.
And the second floor that Lydia was never allowed to go to, that's where her mother Anna ended up, as one of the mannequins. In fact, she's that big one that you have to release in the basement level. There's a note from Anna to Lydia, written like a completely normal mom note, telling her to go straight to her room after school because dad will come to her. Franklin killed his wife, built her into a mannequin, and kept his daughter in the house like nothing happened. Last but certainly not least is Theodore. Now, Theodore is not related to Franklin or his family, but he is introduced to us in Franklin's house before we reach the school.
Take a look around. You're at my best friend's place. His name is Theodore, and he's a very cheerful freak, you know.
The first time we actually see him, he's not waiting for David. He's busy. He's killing a police officer and that officer's family because they got too close to the truth.
Hi. I said hello. Come on. Don't you want a balloon? Come into the carnival.
There's a note in the house where Franklin and Theodore discuss this cop. Theodore kept him alive after a head injury and mentions that cutting off the man's leg didn't cause him any pain and says that it was intentional. They talk about it like a project update between colleagues. And that word colleague is important because Theodore is not beneath Franklin in any way. There's a note from Theodore to Franklin where he draws a very clear line. He tells Franklin that the school is his place, his alone, and that anything Theodore brings there belongs to him. He even says directly that yes, sometimes he takes Franklin's kids without asking. And if Franklin tries to do anything about it, Theodore will go to the police, even though he is also kidnapping children he thinks Franklin will like. which was the case with Jamie from the prologue Don't Be Afraid the first toy. During the day, Theodore is a school janitor. At night, he dresses as a clown and turns the abandoned school into what he calls a carnival. And the school isn't empty. There is a classroom in the back where you can find bodies of the kids Theodore has claimed as his own. Before we get into the endings, I want to talk about Andy, because Andy might be the most quietly important character in this entire game, and he is so easy to miss. Based on the tapes, Andy came to this house after Jamie and before David. There's even a moment where Franklin comments that Andy is a little older than he usually likes. Just one more layer of how Franklin's mind works.
What do we have here? Aren't you a little too old for me? Fuck you!
But Andy did something none of the others did. He left a trail. His tapes are hidden in the darkest parts of the house, the spots nobody wants to go near.
I have to leave all the tapes in the darkness, so don't be afraid of it. My scout leader used to say, only in facing your fears you can find some safety and a way through.
And they're marked on the ground with crayons so that the kids can find them. On those tapes, Andy tells whoever is listening to keep playing the game, keep looking, that there are more tapes waiting.
I'm warning you, be careful, be smart, play his stupid game so he won't suspect anything. Remember to look for my tapes, though.
Along with these tapes, Andy leaves helpful tools like screwdrivers and clock hand pieces to help us escape. He even leaves us Jamie's bunny to give us comfort. When we eventually do get to the school, there's a hidden room in the classroom at the back, and inside there's a skeleton. It's never confirmed, but I think that this may be Andy. He never made it out. We in fact do not find anything more from Andy after this. The last thing he gives us is a mask in the locker, opened by a clock puzzle he left for us. Andy never met David. He was almost certainly gone before David ever woke up in that basement, but he spent whatever time he had left in that house building a path for a kid he would never know existed. What we should really ask ourselves is this: how did David get into the psychopath's basement in the first place? We get 3 flashbacks during the game. In the first one, David can't sleep, so he goes downstairs and his mom is there. She's warm, she's calm, and she tells him that she left a whole bowl of candy next to his bed.
David, honey, you can sleep. Oh, darling, just eat a candy. I left you the whole bowl on your nightstand, as always.
Orange candies. At the time, it just feels like a sweet little detail, but I want you to keep it in mind. Our next flashback is where we find out that David snuck out that night to go visit his friend Tom by using a step stool in the hallway closet and sneaking out the kitchen window. In the final flashback, we are going through a little rock tunnel, and that shortcut is where Franklin found us. In the good ending, we find Franklin's workshop where we see he's been planning David's kidnapping for quite some time. Everything in this game builds towards the attic. That's where the path splits and where you find out what kind of story this is going to be. The first ending is the death ending. You'll know you're getting this ending if you get to the attic where Franklin comes in and the box he puts you in says David the Crybaby. After going through Theodore's carnival, when you try to leave, Theodore will grab you and beat you unconscious with his mallet. When you wake back up, you'll be in the same cold basement that you started in, too weak to move properly, and Franklin gives you one final test.
We will play the last game I prepared for you. Oh, I see you're a little roughed up, so take your time. And remember, no cheating.
After David completes it, Franklin comes to him, calm as anything, and tells him it's all right. He can rest now.
Here we are again, David. You and I together at last.
My God, somebody please save this kid.
I have to tell you that I am very pleased with our game.
Someone save
But
this kid.
It's over now.
And he gives David permission to stop. David sits down. He closes his eyes, and he doesn't fight. He doesn't run. This 11-year-old kid who survived everything this house threw at him just lets go. The credits start rolling, and then Franklin stabs him one last time, laughing, says, "Sorry, darling," and then David lets go for the final time.
Sorry, my darling. I just couldn't resist. I'm sorry. You can go to sleep now.
In the good ending, or the escape ending, you have to follow Andy's trail and collect everything that he left behind for you. When you get to the attic, Franklin shows David the severed heads of his parents, and he tells David he's already killed them, and then he tells David to get into the box, or he will kill his grandparents too.
Are you proud of yourself, David? Your disobedience brought your parents to our game. Leave your backpack on the chair, put out the candle, and enter this box. If you don't enter that box, I'll kill your grandma and grandpa.
This time the box will say David the Explorer. David gets in the box, and Franklin tells him he doesn't appreciate any of this, that David ruined all the fun, that maybe the game was too boring, and that he'll make sure David doesn't miss anything in the next one. There will still be a few items you have to get from Andy, such as the clock piece and the mask. Right after Theodore's area, you will be prompted to put on the mask, and this time when you are confronted by him, when he goes to hit you, he will stop at the sight of the mask, as the mask looks like the blood-drinking ghost we've been seeing around, which means that Theodore can also see these spirits. Theodore drops to his knees, sobbing and begging, and lets David leave. David finds himself in another part of the school where Franklin comes over the intercom and tells him that he's missed his class with Mr. Theodore and needs to report immediately to room 237.
You missed the last class with Professor Theodore. Go to room 237 immediately. Wait by the wall with the symbol on it.
Room 237 is the freezer. When David does step into the room, the door shuts and immediately starts freezing him. Using a crowbar, David escapes and finds Franklin waiting for him in the hallway, and he chases him. David lures him into the freezer where he locks him in and turns off the water.
Get you. It's so cold in here.
Which allows the blood-drinking ghost to kill Mr. Franklin. At his death, the blood-drinking ghosts are released and the hallway fills with Franklin's previous victims who all thank David for what he did.
Oh, and who are you? Why are you staring at me like this? What are you doing? Oh, do you want to play? Do you want to play?
If you did grab the bunny, you can give it to Jamie, who is on the swing set outside before you leave. David is alive, Franklin is dead, and Theodore is caught by the cops and thrown in jail. Very possibly executed for his crimes. He is 11 years old, and he will never be the same kiddo who snuck out to visit his friend. The third and final ending is the mother ending. Back in the attic, David is greeted by the head of his friend Tom, and the box will say David the mama's boy. David gets in the box, and the rest continues as normal until Theodore hits him. But this time, he wakes up in another part of the school, and his mother is there. She's trapped in a cage, suspended above a room full of mannequins, with the big one walking around below her.
Excuse me, I almost forgot. Say hello to your mother.
David, is that you, honey? Please help me.
David has to work out the right levers to pull and bring the cage down safely. Once the cage does lower, David finds that it was not his mother, but a mannequin that was inside of it. And then everyone comes out. Lydia, Carl, Theodore, and Franklin. All of them gather around David and cheer him on. Franklin tells him that they are so proud of him, and then he reaches out his hand and offers him a piece of candy. He's so excited. He's so excited. An orange piece of candy, the same candy that is on David's bedside table. David eats the candy and wakes up. His mother is there comforting him, singing softly to him just like he had a nightmare. The same song Franklin and Lydia were singing. This ending is the nightmare ending, suggesting the whole game was just a dream. But it does raise a lot of questions that never get answered. Was David having this horrific nightmare because his friend was actually murdered? Maybe he heard the details like his parents talking or maybe on the news? We never get to know. Don't Be Afraid is one of those games that trusts you to sit with things that are uncomfortable and not look away. It does not give you clean answers. It does not promise that being brave is enough. It just puts you in the shoes of a scared kid with a candle and lets you figure out what that feels like. And I keep thinking about Andy, a kid who left a trail for someone he would never meet. I think that's the whole heart of the game, honestly. I'm Lunar, and this is Scream Queen Sessions. If you played this one, I want to know which ending hit you hardest, and whether any of this lore caught you off guard the way it caught me. Drop it in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more lore on our favorite horror games, and remember...
Don't be afraid.